Yeah, beautiful conditions in here today. Nice, strong signals. Hope it holds up for the net. So I guess go back up to you, Perry, W3MMR. Then it goes to Frank and Jeep, and then KD3RHR. W3MMR, go ahead.
W3PWW. The old military radio prenet W3MMR. Just switched over to the DX100 here. Let me make sure everything's tuned up correctly here. More grid drive. Alright, everything looks up to snuff and well enough. And listening on a Hammerlin HQ140X this morning, everyone is sounding great. Big signals. You guys all have the carrier level meter here on the HQ140 all the way over to the right. Just about bending the needle there up against the stops. So really good signals this morning. Good morning to you, Jeep. Great signal up here this morning, coming out of Monrovia, Maryland. And good morning to you, Craig, once again. Real big signal from the other side of the state here this morning. Real good conditions for the net here this morning. So I'm very happy to see that. So we'll keep things moving along here. I know the net time's coming up, so I'll turn it over to you, Pop, in a couple minutes here, and then we'll see what happens after that. So hope you guys are hearing me all right on the old bucket of bolts. Over to you, W2SDR, W3MMR.
Yeah, okay, Perry. W3MMR, W2SDR in the group. Good morning to Craig and Jeep. Sounding very good. Everyone is, like Perry said, here also at my QTH. I just wanted to reiterate something to you, Craig. I heard you guys talking last night after I signed out on the upstairs receiving spot about hacking into firmware. Well, these radio companies, as well as all computer companies, software companies, and firmware companies, use what's compiled programs called a source code. And this source code is compiled. It uses machine language, and it's understood only by the central CPU unit of the particular device. Okay, and these companies retain these source codes, and it's a high-level programming language. Okay, I mean, there's no way to hack anything like that. Okay, typically there's only a finite number of computers that can run this software. Okay, and hardware, and it's totally locked up. So you have to design special machines to write this code. So if you don't have that source code, which is a special program, special licenses, and special equipment, there's no way to hack any of that. And this is common. Flex Radio uses it. All radio television companies, consumer electronic equipment, televisions, for surround sound receivers. All these companies use this, so people can't steal their design, and it's impossible to hack it unless you had access to their factory. If you were in their factory and could use their equipment, so that's that. It's a lot harder than adding extra channels to a radio or something like that. It's a whole nother world. Anyway, so that clears that up. I put everybody back to sleep again this morning before the net starts. So over to you, Jeep, and pick it up. Carry it away there, Jeep. W2SDR in the prenet.
Okay, very good, Frank. W2SDR in the prenet. K3HVG. I'm on commercial gear. I'm embarrassed to say I have T1000D into an L4B. If things continue as they are, I'll shift colors over to the ARC-25 system. Maybe I'll even try the ARC-2. It's only 40 watts, but it is high-level modulation, so I could even try that radio. Time was when N8YE would come on, you know, with his GRC 9 and be 40 over 9 here. I've got a 102 system. It runs about 14 watts AM, and that's screen modulated, so I haven't been able to use that radio on my net in a number of years. So anyway, maybe I can go over to military gear here in a little bit. I was just so incredibly surprised. I heard Ted come on there and looked at the S meter, 30 over 9. So that's pretty good. And Ted's only 21 air miles from me, so that can be a blessing or a curse. Normally it's a curse this time of day until later, but anyway, a good deal is had by all. Ted, I do hear some more tuner uppers, so perhaps they'll be coming on board here with the net. I guess we have time. It's a courtesy. I'll give it over to Craig. KD3 RHR, K3HVG.
KG, real quick, I'll answer and then I'll get it back to Ted. Well, Frank, I don't know. It was just a thought, I mean, that 7300 really does well, other than it's limited in its bandwidth. And maybe, I don't know, maybe if you took yours and flew over to Japan and caught an engineer coming out of the building, flipped him a 50 yen, and said, hey, could you open this bandwidth up a little bit for me? I don't know. Just a thought, there's a lot of smart people in the world with computers, and I'm not one. But understand, I know how it goes. Proprietary software that, only a few machines can run. It would be nice to be able to open that thing up, though, because it really is a great transceiver for the money. It's just so narrow. But, I mean, it works. I shouldn't you complain about it. It works, and they used it well. It's a nice transceiver, really, for the money. Okay, Ted. W3PWW. Must be nice to have two R390As stacked, Ted. KB3RHR.
Yeah, the signals are drifting over towards the 80 mark on the receiver here, the R390A, so that is a mighty strong signal into southern PA this morning. Very few signals reach that level. Okay, Jeep, on everything on your Valiant, very good, and I've got a picture of that on my iPad. Next time we get together, I'll have to show you. I think that one was factory wired. Every connection on that transmitter was 360 degrees wrapped, so it made it a little difficult to change stuff around. So either that or whoever built it was really up on the proper way to wire things. Okay, guys, net time. Stand by a minute. Calling you military radio net. Calling you military radio net. Calling you military radio net. This net meets every Saturday morning at 0500 hours. On or about 3885. This morning we're on with the T368C, receiving the R390A. You don't have to have military gear to check in, just an interest in that subject. That's Victoria Spring, W3PWW, Whiskey 3, Papa Whiskey, located in Hanover, PA. We have 4 stations in here so far, W3MMR, W2STR, K3HVG, and KD3RHR. Anyone else for the net, please call now.
W4HWT calling, Whiskey 4, Hotel Whiskey Tango. Good morning, Ted, over.
Morning, John. Nice signal. Anyone else, over? Any other stations for the net, please call now.
Alpha Juliet 1 Golf, Alpha Juliet 1 Golf.
Okay, I got AJ1G. Anyone else, over? Okay. Well, great first rounds here. We got W2MMR, W2STR, K3HVG, KD3RHR, W4HW10, and J1G. Perry, up to you. W3MMR, W3PWW, the old military radio net. Go ahead.
W3PWW in the old military radio net, W3MMR. Well, good morning, Ted. And good morning to the two new check-ins. Good morning, John, and good morning to Chris. John, big signal up here this morning, so the band is short and long at the same time, and really, really good signals from everyone here. Everyone really has his needle all the way swung to the right on this Hammerlin HQ140X here this morning. It's sounding really, really good. Everybody's rigs are sounding really phenomenal here this morning. Like I said, receiving on a Hammerlin HQ140X this morning and transmitting on a restored Heathkit DX100, and using a 125-foot doublet, 600 ohm ladder line fed doublet, apex about 60 feet, and over 7 miles southwest of Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, in the small city of Chester, Pennsylvania. So pretty urban here, but we do what we can with what we got. Nevertheless, real quick, Ted, I just want you to make sure you got Craig's call right. It's Kilo Bravo 3, Romeo Hotel Romeo, KB3RHR. I couldn't tell if you said D or B, but I just wanted to throw that out there. And nevertheless, really good signals here. So we'll keep it moving along. We'll stick in here for a couple rounds since the conditions are really in our favor here this morning. So over to you, Pop, W2SDR in the old military radio net. This is W3MMR.
Yeah, okay. W3MMR. Internet, W2SDR. Good morning, Chris. Good morning, John. Just looking at you guys' QRZ pages as you checked in this morning. I think we're going to have kind of a crappy weekend this morning. Or not this weekend, weather-wise. 31 degrees here today, but it's going to be rain in the afternoon, a little rain in the morning tomorrow, blah blah blah. So might struggle to get out of the 40s today. Perry to DX100 sounds very good. I'd be hard pressed, at least using the 160 Hammerland here, to tell the difference between those. Between that transmitter and the SDR, signal-wise or audio-wise. Sounds excellent. I sent you a picture of my download speed this morning on the internet. It's on the Xfinity's speed test. If you've done that, it's just astounding here. The speed, but I can't tell the difference between this speed and the older speed, which is a couple of 100 megabits slower. So, the websites, once you get past a certain internet speed, the websites are the bottleneck, not your internet service. So you certainly don't need a tremendous amount of speed for normal operation. Okay, well, I'm going to make this one I'll stick in here for one more round of the net this morning, 2 rounds. So let me get it over to Jeep, K3HVG in the military radio net this morning, W2SDR, Salem County, Southern New Jersey.
KD3HT. Okay, KD3HT. Excellent signal. I'm impressed again this morning. Well, anyway, everybody's doing well. Just taking some notes here. Yeah, a little bit of QSB on you, Frank, as there was on most of the signals, about a 10 dB. Very slow QSB at times, but they bottom out about 10 over 9. So that's not too bad. Yeah, Ted, I don't know why I got the Valiant. I don't know why I got the ICO gear. The Valiant was $100, and it was delivered. I had to get help to lift it off the floor onto the T-cart to work on it. Time was I could bench press a Viking, a Valiant pretty good, but I don't know. Time and tide, I guess, if that's the proper explanation. Again, 32 degrees here. The shack is 67. It's a little bit cool down here. So anyway, Ted, I've got to go up and get some coffee and maybe take the dog out for just a couple of minutes, so I may miss one, but I will be back. I will be back indeed. So anyway, KB3 RHR, 2 take it, and the old military radio net, K3HVG. Go ahead.
Yeah, KG, very good. KB3RHR. Good signal out of John and Chris both. Says amazing copy here this morning. This KB3RHR name's Craig, located in West Findlay, Pennsylvania, over by Pittsburgh. Running a T368 R390A. And today is the first day of bear season, and this is the first time in, I don't even tell you how many years I've missed it. It's pouring rain here, and I'd rather sit with a cup of coffee behind this warm T368 than sit in the bear woods like a drowned rat. So I'm sure those guys are probably having fun here in a little bit. The older I get, the more old buzzard things I'd rather do than be out there in the woods all day. But everybody's sounding great. So over to you, John. Here comes W4HWT on the old military radio net. This is KB3RHR. Craig over here near Pittsburgh.
Okay, Craig. KB3RHR and the old military radio net. W4HWT returning here at Snow Camp, North Carolina. Just about 50 miles west of Raleigh. And didn't check the temperature this morning. I think it's pretty close to 50 degrees. It stayed kind of warm last night. I thought it was supposed to cool down in the 40s. And we're looking for rain. I did notice on the weather channel before it came down to the shack down here, it was raining down in the southwestern North Carolina or south central North Carolina and Charlotte area and coming this way from Atlanta. So I guess we'll get some after a while, but no QRN to speak of, and very, very good signals. When I first turned the receiver on, Ted, on the 390A, you're running about 75 to 80 on down here, but it's dropped down to about the 50 to 60 range, and some QSB, but very, very good copy all the way around. Everybody's coming in quite strong, and I did hear Steve, KD3HT, check in there, and good morning, Chris. Hearing you really well this morning. Really coming in quite strongly, too. Of course, running the BC610E model, 614E speech amp, 390A receiver, along with a HRO 60 for backup. This 390A is going to have to be pulled out of line here and worked on. I think the sensitivity is down somewhat, but right now this morning from the signals, the way they appear on the SB, there don't seem to be a problem with it, so we'll just let it percolate along a little longer. Back a couple weeks back is kind of marginal with signals, but still working very well. Nothing new going on here. Just finished restoring a NC101X, the national receiver that's ham bands only, and got it recapped all the way through because it's got this egg grade coil changer in on the inside, and if one of the capacitors under that thing go out, you can't get to it. So it's so I had it out, and to get it work, the sliding on the bar was frozen up, and got it going, and works really fine. So with that, let's see, we'll turn on up to Chris, and how your confidence up there, Chris? AJ1G, W4HWT, and the old military radio net standing by. Over.
Yeah, very good, John. W4HWT and the old military radio net. This is Alpha Juliet 1 Golf, Chris in Stonington, Connecticut. boy, what a nice start to the net for once. Everyone is just booming in, and don't need any assist from any remote SDRs or anything, which has been unusual. Got a nice, cool, crisp morning here in Connecticut. We had a bunch of rain yesterday, but then it cleared off, and I think the day before, same thing happened. But we need the rain. It's been kind of dry. I did the last run with the lawnmower, I hope, for the season. I probably will have maybe one or two sections I'll have to do again. And it was very, very dusty last weekend when I did that. Very dusty. I am on the Central Electronics 20A and 600L with its military T21 Arc 5 VFO. And listening on the old EH Scott SLR-RM, I put that back in service here. It was out for a while. Needed a replaced pilot bulb. When it goes, it's part of the B+ and biasing circuit, and when it goes, so does the B+. It's got a very mysterious AC/DC power supply. It's the world's largest universal powered radio, and it was designed that way on purpose so it could be used as a entertainment receiver during the war on merchant ships and Navy ships. So it's a transformerless power supply, but quite complicated. It's also very sensitive to grounding and things like that. And one of the things I think last week I was running into a problem with it when I brought it online, and it was causing hum in my transmit signal, and there was some sort of ground looping issue. So I put a 500 watt isolation transformer on the power leads. I think, Jeep, you're a big advocate of that. And boy, the thing sounds so much better on it. It's hard to understand why, but it seems to be peppier. It's a lot more sensitive, and the audio just cleared right up. It's had some residual hum in it, and it's all gone. So nothing has changed on the grounding side and the radio side, but maybe I broke up a ground loop or something before. It played nice. It's got a very, very mellow and warm sound to it. It's hard to describe, but nothing else in the shack puts out audio like this thing. Had a busy week cleaning up the shack in the basement. I've got all of my parts we've acquired over the decades, all sorted and stored and in labeled bins. Majority of them are these shoebox-sized bins. I've got shelves and shelves and shelves full of them. And the place is actually relatively clean. Operating-wise, a new milestone yesterday morning. 0300 got up, went down and worked DX on 75 meters mobile. Worked over to Europe as the sun was coming up there, and we were still dark. And then as the sun came up here, and I caught a fantastic sunrise picture at the same time, worked Australia on 75 meters with a ham stick with the 7100. Beautiful conditions have been going on here lately. Anyhow, I guess I'll turn it back to you, Ted, but you probably want to pick up Steve, KD3HT. W3PWW and the old military radio net, AJ1J.
Victor Yankee 2 Whiskey.
Okay, I hear you there, John. Yeah, next up is KD3HT and VY2WW checked in also. So, Steve, please pass it to him. KD3HT, W3PWW. Go ahead.
Okay, good morning, everybody. KD3HT with the old military radio net. My name is Steve here, located in Northeast PA. Hearing all signals excellent. This morning, we have 28 degrees here. It's not bad out, mild morning. And running the T368C and listening on SDR AirSpy HF Plus receiver. And boy, all signals are really
phenomenal. I came in and Frank was transmitting, and I can tell right away that I hear Frank that the band's well open. So just great signals all the way around. So that's a start. Haven't even taken a sip of tea yet. Rolled out of the sack a few minutes late. So let's hear from John. He's got a good signal here, probably not even using SDR receivers either. VY2WW, good morning. KD3HT. John, is that right? I think so. It's early yet. VY2WW, KD3HT, go ahead.
Yeah, good morning. Morning, Stu. We got a good signal in here. Everybody's running at least 10 over 9 so far. Really nice to have a band that's open and both long and short. That's kind of unusual the last few times I've been in here. But anyway, I just got up and started my first cup of coffee, and I need to refill it because it wasn't a full cup. Anyway, yes, I'm running the SDR here. I think that's what you asked me. The Apache Lamzonon 200D this morning. Running into an alpha amplifier. Just about, let's see here. 350 watts. Let me turn it down a little bit. That's a little hot. We don't need that much carrier. Okay. There's 275 watts of AM, and I'm sure you couldn't tell the difference. Like I said, all the signals so far I've heard are great. I think I came in when Jeep was transmitting. He was a good strong copy in here. So, boy, we had a little bit of wind and rain last night. I hope everything's okay down the antenna field. I had to retune a little, so it could just be I'm up on a higher frequency. And yeah, Chris, I heard you work that the VK yesterday in the mobile. Wow, 100 watts. Amazing. Some of those fellas over there in Australia have an incredible hearing. Peter in particular has just great ears. Well, I can't believe the things he hears. So I don't know who I'm supposed to turn it to, so I'll get it back to Ted, I guess, and get some more coffee. I need to wake up. W3PWW in the military radio net, VY2WW.
Yeah, okay, John, very good. Signal is still holding up quite nicely. Most anywhere between 60 and 80 on the R390A here this morning. John, you had a little bit of fading on yours, but still 100% copy. And yeah, 31 degrees here this morning. Yesterday we had wind and rain for a brief period of time, I guess right around 1 o'clock in the afternoon. Had some wind and rain, but then it cleared up, and it was pretty nice last night, and not too cold out. 31 degrees here also this morning. But the conditions yesterday were not too good outside. On Thursday I did get a lot of my wood in the dry, so I didn't have to go outside to get it. Got it stacked up in the garage here, so that's a good thing for winter. Okay, let me take another standby for check-ins. Anyone else that's off the old military radio net, please call now. Got WA1JUJ. Anyone else, over?
Yeah, Ted, KK4GZQ. Good morning to you in the net.
Good morning, KK4GZQ, also in here. Anyone else, over? Okay, let me pick up WA1JUJ and KK4GZQ, and then we'll go back up to the top with the period of the MMR. WA1JUJ, go ahead.
This is WA2JT. WA2EJT.
And did you get that last station, Ted?
Negative.
Yeah, there was another breaking station.
Yeah, this is WA2EJT. Good morning, Ted.
Okay, WA2EJT is on frequency, so turn it over to him then, and we'll go back up to the top after that. Yeah, KK4GZQ, go ahead.
Okay, Ted, thanks a lot. W2 and W3PWW with the old military radio net, KK4GZQ. Good morning, one and all. It's Kevin, located about 16 miles southwest of Lexington, Kentucky, and this morning I wasn't able to get the 610 up and on the air this morning in time, but I'm cheating on the flex here with the AL 1200. Everybody sounds good. Chris, good morning to you. AJ1G, I heard about your contact with Australia on 75 meters using, I think you said, a ham stick. That's awesome. And I heard both Johns. I heard Perry and Frank and Craig and Steve, and of course you, Ted. And it sounds like you got a good start to a good net this morning, so I won't keep it here. Good morning all the way around. I'm going to send it back to net control. I'm going to send it to W2VJT to pick it up. Here's KK4GZQ with the old military radio net. Good morning.
Okay, K4GZQ and the old military net. This is WA2EJT. Well, I was delighted to hear, signals this morning. Ted, you're quite loud, and I tried to try to check in as quickly as I could, because who knows when things might change. Right, my usual AR213 here, BC348 in the Q5er, and it's been weeks and weeks since I've been able to actually check in. So this is great. Sounds like you're a very good ready for releasing some air. And I don't know who the trumpet releaser is, so I'll just turn it back to you. And again, great to hear your voice. W3PWW, WA2EJT.
Okay, Joe, very good. Yeah, same here. Been quite a while since I've heard you. I know some of the guys up in New England would hear you, but I've had difficulties down here with the way the band was. Okay, let's get back up to the top. We get W3MMR. I don't know whether Frank's in here yet or not, but we'll put him on the list here. W3MMR, K3HVG, KD3RHR, W4HWT, AJ1G, KD3HT, VY2WW, W1JUJ, KK4GZQ, and WHLEJT, then back to net control. W3MMR, W3PWW, and the old military radio net. Go ahead.
W3PWW and the old military radio net, W3MMR. Really, let me get on frequency here. Really great signals this morning from everyone. John, good morning to you, VY2WW. You're actually the lightest I've ever heard you here in the mornings on Saturday mornings, but still a Q5 copy nonetheless. And I'm literally copying every single person without any difficulty. And, 99% of you have my needle on this HQ140 all the way up against the pin. I mean, really phenomenal conditions this morning, and it's really great to see. And a real big group in here this morning. So I'm not going to stick around. This is going to be my last transmission here. I believe my father's still in there. So when I'm done here, I'll turn it over to him. I believe he was going to stick around for one more after his first one there, but just want to say good morning to you, Kevin, KK4GZQ. Really big signal up here this morning. All in the flex sounds great this morning. And for those of you who don't know, name here is Perry, Pop Echo Romeo Yankee, and we are transmitting with on the DX100 here this morning, or the D104, right into the front of her. So with the good conditions here, I figured I'd fire up the old bucket of bolts here this morning. And good morning to you, Steve, KD3HT. Good morning to you, Chris, AJ1G, and congratulations on the VK contact for the mobile. I bet that was quite exciting for you. You must have a really good, wherever you get Stonington Point, if that's where you were, or wherever you're going, and working all this DX from the mobile, Chris. I mean, you're always, telling me, and every day you're coming at me with a new contact, the new DX contact from the mobile. I know, number one, that the mobile works really well because I can hear you down here on it, here on the 75 meter AM with it. And from all the contacts that you're racking up out in DX with it. So kudos to you, Chris. That's really, really good. So congratulations. And what other notes do we have here? I believe that's it. Just really astonishing and a little bit long and short band conditions here this morning. So 7-3, guys. It's been great. And we're going to go tune around here for a bit and do some cleaning up here in the shack. Got a little bit of work to do here in the shack before we go to work right here this morning, and then off tomorrow. So over to you, W2SDR and the old military radio net. 7-3, guys, from W3 MMR.
W3 MMR and the old military radio net, W2SDR. 7-3, Perry. Be talking to you throughout the day, I'm sure. And good morning to you, Steve, KD3HT, Kevin, Joe. Haven't heard you in a while, Joe. It's good to hear you again. You were 15 to 20 over your transmission here this morning. John, WW up there in Canada. I don't think I've ever heard you before on here, so it's nice meeting you on the military radio net this morning. My name is Frank. Calls Whiskey 2 Sierra Delta Romeo. And Chris with his mobile setup. Yeah, if you get in the right section of the band, you work those VKs here on this band. They don't have the same band allocations, obviously, that we do. So certain sections of the band that they can't go in, they don't have a very as big of a 75 meter allocation as we do here in the U.S. I work them a lot on 40 meters. The VKs. So this will be my final round, 7-3 all around. Have a great remainder of the net. It's off to a wonderful start here this morning. Over to you, Jeep, K38, and your FT1000 is doing an excellent combination there. Is doing a very nice job up here this morning. K3HVG in the old military radio net, W2SDR, 7-3.
7-3, Frank, and thank you for that nice comment. W2SDR signed K3HVG and the old military radio net. Yeah, just walking back into the shack here a few minutes ago, and I came by the Valiant, and I pulled the little crystal door off. And lo and behold, there was a Texas Crystal 3735 and a Peterson 3728, so one of the previous operators must have been a CW op. I remember when I bought unfortunately a basket case HT20. Been looking for one of them for the last 40 years. Anyway, every crystal socket was filled up with nice commercial FT243 crystals for 80 and 40 meters, so I have quite a collection of old-timey crystals now in one of those military crystal cases, CS83 or CS63, whatever it is. We all know what it is. Anyway. So I guess I will get the Valiant going at some point here in the next few months, and then I haven't decided what to put it with. Maybe the SX71. That'll make a nice looking pair. Double conversion. Been quite a resurgence of interest in the SX71, at least on a couple of the news groups. I know Electric Radio, Tom Marcinello had a recent article on getting his on the air, and I did one a couple of years ago, so nice radio. But Steve, nice signal. The other stations that came in, well, Chris and Steve had good signals, so I'm still amazed. So we'll turn it down to Craig and see how we're holding up south of Philly. KB3 RHR in the old military radio net, K3HVG.
Okay, Jeep, yeah, you're holding up great. Excellent signal. Everybody's still doing well. Well, very good to everybody else jumping in here. My name's Craig, and located in West Findlay, Pennsylvania, which is near Pittsburgh, on a T368 and R390A. So that brings up question, I guess, for maybe Todd and Steve. I don't know, a few months ago when we started that little 20-meter group on Wednesdays, KC8ZUL, who has a absolutely beautiful, gorgeous T368, was having a problem with his loading or tuning cap. Well, if anybody knows anything about Jerry, he's got one of everything. So he did find the cap, but he was scrambling because he didn't think he had one. So I'm starting to collect parts for the T3 because I want to see it go on forever. And I've got a little this, a little that, and I actually am picking up an RF deck this week. But my question to you guys is, where do you find the parts? Not that you need parts all the time, but, they're getting harder and harder to find. So anybody's got a source for that stuff or replacements, I'd be interested to know about that. Because that's my new endeavor with the T3, is to try to have backup parts to keep the old girl on the air for a while. So interesting to hear about that and what you guys, you guys are all elders to me, so what you guys have experienced with parts for the T3. So over to you, John. Great signal out of NC. W4HWT to take it on the old military radio net. This is KB3RHR. K0, Victor, United, Whiskey.
RHR, W4HWT returning here. Good morning all the way around, and good morning all the other stations checking in. Copied them very well. Joe, copied you pretty good. You're a little light down here compared to the others, but you were 100% copyable most of the time there. And glad to have all the other fellows check in. And okay, on Craig, on your T368 and spare parts, I can't help you out. I don't know, but everyone I know about it, it's a complete unit, and that's it, So I don't know of any hanger queens around. Jeep will tell on the SX71 matched up with your Valiant there. Those crystals you had, you didn't mention it, but they were probably, they are novice band CW crystals back in the olden days. It's kind of amazing a fellow might be working novice band with crystals with a Valiant with that much potential power there, but I guess you can throttle it back pretty well and meet the requirements. And okay, on the SX71 article there in this most recent Electric Radio magazine, referencing your article too, both of which were very excellent, I did learn something about a receiver I had, didn't even know what it was in that most recent Electric Radio magazine in the DAX. Toward the very back of the article, right before you get, I guess, to the classified, there's a reprint of ham safety, I guess, electrical safety with the AC/DC radios and etc. I believe in there and so forth, and how to hook them up, and it was a generic thing, but he mentioned a receiver called a 115, a Coast Guard receiver. Well, I had a receiver, and he described that thing exactly what I had. I didn't know what it was. It's a national receiver. It's an all-band job 200 to 400 kilohertz, and then it starts a little behind the AM band, goes all the way up. No band spread, but it's an DC radio. Coast Guard used it, they said shipboard as well as on land, but amazing thing about it, it's got 117 N7s or something like that. It's a push-pull audio radio with all AC/DC and has the egg cart band changing arrangement in it. Well, it's like a NC240D or NC240 receiver, but I didn't know what I had there. It's basically no crystal filter, phasing, nothing like that. It's basically a on-off switch and BFO and AVC or no AVC, just kind of a standard, probably like an S40 or something. But it's quite well built, but no nomenclature on it other than National. And it might have had a label on it sometime, but I didn't see where it was. It wasn't like the Collins with the, these labels screwed to the front panel or something. But anyway, I did learn something about it. I had an R115, didn't know what it was other than it was a strange National receiver, and I haven't been able to find a schematic on the thing, but did get it going, the usual. It's got the phase inverter type arrangement for the push-pull audio instead of a driver transformer or something like that. So anyway, I kind of traced out the circuit and got it working here quite a few years back. But anyway, it's a pretty nice old radio, but kind of picked up something that looked like it's kind of rare, to tell you the truth. I haven't, like I say, found any information on it to speak of. Well, then I'll hush and move on down the line, and like I say, copying everybody good. So over to you, Chris. I hope you're still copying us there. AJ1G and the Old Military Radio Net, W4HWT, standing by. Over.
K0, Victor, United Whiskey.
Negative.
Yeah, good morning. Thank you. This is Kilowatt Zero, Victoria United Whiskey, K0VUW, Gary in Wildwood, Missouri. Good morning to Ted and everybody else. K0 Victor United Whiskey standing by.
Very high in frequency.
You